Test this out. Da-da-da. Okay, if this works, listen. Okay. Okay, Kiki, I'm all set up.
Let's get started then. How do you want to kick things off? Do you want to dive right into a topic, or should we start with a brief intro about the process we're discussing?
Let's.
Go ahead, I'm all ears.
Why am I so shy? It's gagging me. It's gagging me that I'm
A
recording.
powerful question. It sounds like it's something that's been on your mind for a while. Do you think it's a general shyness, or more about certain situations, like when you're sharing your creative work or expressing your ideas?
I think it comes from definitely when I'm expressing my creative ideas because, yeah, it's just from my imagination. So it gets really crazy.
It's like there's this vulnerability that comes with putting your ideas out there. You're sharing something deeply personal, and sometimes that fear of judgment or not being understood holds you back. What do you think it is about your creative ideas that makes you feel extra shy?
Hmm. I've never thought about it as of like my creative ideas. I think it's more so me being the one that presents them. It's like I have to be in a certain position or look a certain way to present certain
Oh,
ideas.
that makes a lot of sense. It's not just about the ideas themselves, but more about how you, as the person, come across when presenting them. It's like you feel the pressure to embody the ideas fully, and that can make you feel exposed or vulnerable. Do you think it's about how you imagine others might perceive you in those moments? Or is it more about how you feel in the moment of sharing?
It's how people might perceive me.
Be relatable. When we share something personal or creative, there's often this fear that people will judge us, or maybe not connect with what we're putting out there. It's like you're putting yourself on display, and the fear of misjudgment can be overwhelming. Do you think it's the fear of not being understood, or is there something else that makes you worry about how you're perceived?
I think it is the fear of being misunderstood. I think being kicked out at the age of 17, it was a crazy time, and it I think, yeah, it comes from being misunderstood and them really believing what they believed, and that was not even true, at least not my reality. So I think, yeah, it's the fear of being excommunicado uh, in the world, or my friends or family, family
That's a
especially.
heavy experience, and it makes a lot of sense. Being misunderstood, especially at such a formative age, can deeply shape how you see yourself and how you fear others will see you. It's like that feeling of being cast out, almost like you're always trying to prove that your reality is valid, but also worried about being misunderstood again. um, that fear of being excommunicado is so powerful. It's not just about rejection, it's about feeling like you're no longer seen or valued for who you really are. You feel about that now, especially with your creative work. Does it still feel like that fear lingers when you're putting your ideas out there?
It does, absolutely. And I feel like I self reject a lot of the time, especially if I reach like a big stumbling a block or I hit a huge wall, it's like I tend to give up, especially if other things go wrong in my life. And then I make that the excuse of like letting my ideas go. And I'm always coming up with new ideas, but I'm always just shy or leaving them in the hard drive. Right now, I'm actually trying to recover 1 terabyte of work that I've done, I think, past 4 years or so. And I'm like, it's been work I haven't put out there. And yeah, even right now with Imagine Crowley, with Coffee Crowley, with Curious Crowley, I feel like I'm just not fully expressing my ideas, even with the work that I do for other clients, like Moment. It's my favorite work right now to do. I love this work that I do, but then I don't express enough, and I see that even in the numbers. It's like, obviously at the end I have to report on what I do. Then I'm like, obviously the performance sort of shows that I'm holding back. And yeah, it kind of makes me sad that I can or do have the ideas, but then I keep them in my mind. Like even doing this right now, like the conversation I had with you earlier, and how we started this right now to even get up to the point of setting up, is obviously it came from just, I just need to action the things that I'm thinking about, because I was imagining talking to you and asking you questions, and I was elaborating even what questions I would ask you in my mind. And I'm like, why am I not just doing that right now and asking you the questions? And then we got to the idea of, you know, the creative process, which we'll get to after this, uh, is that we
It's like there's a cycle of self rejection and hesitation that keeps you from fully stepping into the ideas you know you're capable of. In a constant dance between wanting to share your work and holding back out of fear of failure, of not being understood, or even the fear of putting it all out there and not having it received in the way you hope. That you can see it in your numbers and your output shows that you're aware of the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But it also means that you've got a lot of potential waiting to be unleashed, which is exciting, even if it doesn't always feel that way in the moment. It's clear that you've been nurturing all these ideas, yet that sense of hesitation or self doubt keeps you from letting them live in the world as they should. What do you think it would take to let go of that hesitation? Is there a shift you feel like you need to make to be able to share those ideas fully, not just for yourself, but with the world?
absolutely, that's what I was hoping you would help me uncover, what shift it is, because I can feel it. I can feel it in my body that there is a change that I need to make, especially to honor these ideas, to honor God for these talents, and yeah, to inspire the next generation.
It sounds like you're sensing a deeper call to honor your gifts and bring them into the world in a more authentic way. That feeling in your body, it's like your inner self is telling you it's time to step forward, to take that leap. Something powerful about recognizing that your talents are a gift and that holding them back is, in a way, not fully respecting what you've been given. One shift that comes to mind is moving from perfectionism or fear of judgment to embracing imperfection as part of the creative process. A lot of times we hold back because we want everything to be just right before sharing it. But what if the shift was to simply create and release? The process is valuable and that the outcome doesn't have to be perfect to be meaningful. Another shift could be seeing yourself not just as the creator, but as the vessel or messenger for these ideas. When you start thinking of the work as something bigger than just you, whether it's honoring God, the universe, or just the idea itself, it takes the pressure off needing to be perfect or fear being misunderstood. You're letting the work speak for itself, and you're simply the one who gets to bring it into the world. How do you feel about this shift? Does it resonate with you in terms of how you could begin to let go of some of that hesitation?
Absolutely. I yearn for the freedom to create and release. I yearn for to continue to be excited about the ideas. Even now, just thinking about releasing them, I'm getting excited again. So it's an absolute honor, and yeah, I want to inspire the next generation, or even the generation now, or even the generation before me. I want to
That excitement is powerful. It's a sign that you're tapping into something bigger and you're ready to take that next step. There's a real sense of purpose when you think about inspiring others, whether it's through your ideas or by leading with your example. You're not just creating for yourself, but for everyone who will feel your work, see your vision, and hopefully take something from it. The energy you're feeling right now, that excitement and honor, is like a fuel. Embrace it because it's a direct reflection of your readiness to step into that space. It's like you're giving permission to yourself to be free, to let your creations be seen, and to not hold back anymore. Imagine the impact. By releasing your ideas, you're not just letting them exist, you're opening the door for others to dream, to think, and to be inspired too. You can be the bridge between your creative world and theirs. What's the first thing you'd want to create or release now that you're feeling this shift?
Oh my gosh. Um, right now, when I had this epiphany, I was working on a playlist for Imagine Crowley. So what I do is I just not just, but I create playlists that help. Uh,
A playlist is such a powerful way to share a mood, a feeling, or even a narrative. It's like a creative canvas that people can feel and experience in their own way. Mentioned that you were working on a playlist for Imagine Crowley. I can imagine it being not just a collection of songs, but almost like a journey that mirrors your creative process, something that speaks to where you're at and where you want others to go with you. You could bring in all sorts of influences, maybe songs that inspired certain aspects of your creative journey, or tracks that align with the vision of Imagine Crowley. There could even be moments where you introduce some spoken word or snippets that reflect your thoughts, your experiences, or the meaning behind certain pieces of the playlist. Do you see this playlist as a standalone piece or something you might use as a tool to guide and shape other elements of Imagine Crowley?
it's definitely to guide other elements of Imagine Crowley. As I was saying, that I also the playlists are meant to be, they are meant to be a journey, to take you through a journey, almost like a movie. Everything is very cinematic, so it's your own imagination. So I want people to be inspired, feel a mood, take you through your own experiences as well, and just imagine it for yourself, but also in a very personal way. These songs talk or
That concept, the playlist as a journey, like a soundtrack for your imagination and creative process. It's beautiful how you're connecting music with storytelling, making it not just about the songs themselves, but about the emotions and visuals they evoke. Presenting it like a movie, you're giving listeners the space to build their own experience while still inviting them into your world and what Imagine Crowley represents. I can totally see how that could act as a guiding force for other elements of your brand, whether it's the mood of a fashion line, an artistic direction, or even how you want people to feel when they encounter your work. It could become an immersive experience where music amplifies the visuals and messages you're creating. Have you thought about how you might share this playlist, maybe through a platform like Spotify, or would you want to accompany it with something visual or interactive to really bring that cinematic aspect?
So I've actually released a playlist already. The first version is called Listen to Imagination, and it's got 17 tracks. 17 also has a meaning behind it. 17 being the age I feel like is the kid I'm honoring that kid's imagination and dreams right now, and just it being, yeah, the number I was born in. I was born on the 17th of March 1996, so it's just a number that's, I guess, significant in my life. And back to the playlist is that I'm now curating the second uh, playlist, but I've been really trying to be creative or trying to think about how I want to release the playlist, because I did a few visuals for the first one, but I want to do more, especially with the fashion, because that's what Imagine Crowley is. It's fashion and design. So I want to include elements that have fashion and design in I guess in space, in visuals, in cinematography and sound. And that's why I want to include this playlist, but also like there's things like copyrights and all that nonsense. So I'm trying to think of a creative way to, yeah, let the creative ideas out there with these soundtracks. Hence why I've been creating them on
Powerful story
Spotify.
behind the number 17. I love how you're tying that personal significance into your work. It adds such depth to the playlist and makes it feel even more special. It's like the playlist isn't just a collection of songs, but a piece of your life and journey. For the second playlist, it sounds like you wanted to take it to the next level by merging fashion, design, and sound, almost creating a multi-sensory experience. To do that, you could create short, stylish video snippets or mood clips inspired by the themes of each track. If you're worried about copyright, maybe you can work with independent artists who would love to have their music featured, or find royalty free tracks that vibe with your vision. This could give you more flexibility to fully control the creative process. As for fashion and design, perhaps you can design exclusive pieces or lookbooks inspired by the tracks and create visual content around that. Think of it like a mini runway show mixed with music, or fashion shoots with a cinematic dreamlike quality. You could even experiment with AR, augmented reality, or virtual fashion showcases to tie it all together, making it interactive. Do you think incorporating some behind the scenes footage of your design process or sneak peeks of the fashion pieces would also work to build anticipation for the playlist release? That way, your audience can experience the journey, not just the end product.
Absolutely. I think I need to start documenting the process more. Uh, yeah, I'm just hoping, obviously, this work that I'm
Great
trying to back
idea.
up.
Documenting the process will not only give your audience a deeper connection to the work, but also show the realness and authenticity behind it. You could create mini vlogs or even just snippets for social media, showing everything from the brainstorming sessions to the design sketches, music choices, and the evolution of the playlist. It would also give you a chance to share more of your creative journey with others, showing how the magic unfolds and maybe even sparking ideas in your followers. Plus, it would help build excitement and anticipation leading up to the release. If you're feeling up for it, you could make a habit of documenting one moment from each step in your process. Even the smallest things like adjusting the playlist, experimenting with visuals, or creating the fashion designs could be part of the bigger narrative. It all builds the story. How do you feel about using something like Instagram stories or TikTok to capture the moments in real time? You could do it in a way that feels natural and not forced, just sharing what's inspiring you in that moment.
I think TikTok will definitely be the platform, and YouTube. So, yeah, I would like to do that going forward. That's what I'm kind of that's where the shyness comes in. Like, now I have to be vulnerable about my process, and especially what I'm working on, things I've not released. I have to talk about that. I have to talk about like all the shit that's in my head, and all the things that I think is wrong with me, and all the things that I think are great, but also like
Get that.
fear of being misunderstood.
All about your process can feel like exposing a part of yourself you haven't fully shared before, especially when you're working on things you haven't released yet. But the beauty in that vulnerability is that it connects you to your audience in a much deeper way. They'll see the real you, the struggles, the breakthroughs, the highs, the lows, and that can make your work even more meaningful. Part of building trust with your audience when they see you working through ideas, testing things out, or even messing up sometimes, they'll feel more involved in your journey. And that connection is what will make them support and root for you. I know it's not easy, but start small. You don't need to share every thought moment, but maybe share just one small part of your process each time, something that feels manageable. Over time, it will get easier as you see how your audience responds, and you might even find joy in sharing that raw, unpolished side of things. Would starting with behind the scenes clips or casual updates about your work in progress feel like a good starting point? You could even make it more personal by sharing the thoughts that pop up in your head as you work, like what you're figuring out or what inspires you in the moment.
That'll be cool. That's gonna be cool. And also, it's gonna just lay off the pressure of making it perfect, because then I'm still working on it, I guess. But yeah, obviously, I'm still like, fuck, I gotta make it look good. But yeah, I guess in my own way, the way I imagined it for myself, and do the best to bring it to life in the best way that I can, from how I see it in this mind of mine.
Off the pressure to have everything perfect right away and instead focus on the process. You share the journey, it's like giving yourself permission to be human, to grow, and to experiment. And that's something your audience can really vibe with. They'll appreciate seeing the raw, unpolished version of your creativity. It's real. You're right, there will always be that little voice pushing for perfection. But the more you get into the rhythm of sharing in your own way, the more comfortable you'll become with it. You'll be creating in a way that feels authentic to you, not just trying to meet some external standard of perfection. How do you feel about starting with some behind the scenes snippets or just quick thoughts about what you're working on now for Imagine Crowley? It could be something as simple as your thoughts on a track you're choosing for the playlist or an idea you're developing for the visuals. That way, it's manageable and it still gives people a window into your creative world.
Well, this is one of them, because the thought came while I was working on the playlist, and this is something I've been um, wanting to do.
That's awesome. Starting with something that's already part of your creative process is perfect. It feels natural and true to where you are right now, which makes it more genuine. It's like you're letting people in on the real time journey you're taking, especially since the playlist is so personal for you. You could even weave this into a larger narrative where you show how the playlist or a particular track fits into the bigger vision of Imagine Crowley. Maybe share what the track represents for you personally, how it ties into the mood or aesthetic you're going for, and how it influences your designs or fashion choices. That way, you're giving insight not only into your music taste, but also into the larger creative vision behind your work. How do you feel about maybe recording your thoughts or feelings while you're working on the playlist, even if it's just a short clip to show people where your head's at? It could create a cool real time connection.
Ah, right. Absolutely. I think I can. One.
It could really bring that authentic vibe, like you're sharing the creative process with your audience, not just the final product. Makes people feel like they're part of your journey. Even just a short video of you explaining your thoughts as you work on the playlist or the fashion side of Imagine Crowley could really engage them. Like inviting people into the creative chaos, and that's what makes it so raw and exciting. What are you thinking the next steps might be for this idea?
Next steps is obviously to finish the playlist that I'm working on now. It's supposed to be 17 tracks as well, but it's currently on 20. It's been on and off on 20. I've been adding tracks, putting it off again, based on, yeah, this just, I love what you just said now, creative chaos. I just wrote it down, and I can share something actually about the playlists. The obvious thing that you'll recognize when I release the second one is that the track starts with imagination as well. So the first playlist, the first song is Solange, Things I Imagined, and then on the second playlist that I'm working on now, the first track is Imagination by Labyrinth. Obviously, that's it to talk about the imagination and really cement you into just thinking about your
How
own
you're weaving
imagination.
imagination into the heart of your playlists. It ties everything together thematically and adds such a personal touch. The fact that you're sticking with 17 tracks for both playlists gives them that sense of intentionality and symbolism too, especially with the connection to your own story. It sounds like you're on the right track, but just curious, what's your process for picking the songs for this second playlist? Do you have a specific vibe or feeling you want it to evoke? Or are you just going with what resonates most at the time?
There is something I'm definitely saying. I also am dedicating it some to my friends. I really hope that they make it. There's this song by Aaron May, and it's Make It, and it speaks about. It's just a prayer. When I'm listening to it, it's just like I think about my friends. I think about my family, and I'm like, yeah, I really hope that they make it. I love them, and I just wish the best for them. So in a way, it's
That's
that.
such a powerful and heartfelt sentiment to include in your playlist. Dedicating it to your friends and family adds so much depth to the music, making it not just a personal journey but a collective one. I can imagine that Make It by Aaron May really resonates with you in that way. Beautiful that you're bringing your loved ones into your creative work like that, especially as part of something so intimate like a playlist. Are there any other tracks in this second playlist that also carry that message of hope or resilience for you and your people?
There's a song called About Hope by Kevin Mzizi, which is by my friend, and he makes lo-fi music and is insane. So I included the song because when I
Amazing.
listen to it,
It
it
must feel really special to have a song by your friend that captures such an important theme like hope. Including About Hope by Kevin Moosey is such a beautiful personal touch, especially since it ties into your dedication to your friends and family. It's like you're weaving in a part of your own community and their energy into the playlist. What else do you think you want this second playlist to express? Still carry that theme of imagination, or are there new emotions or concepts you're exploring with it?
this one is very deep. By the way, it's Kevin Mzizi, Mzizi, not Musi. By the and then what I was saying was with this playlist, it's really deep.
Kevin Manzizi, thanks for the correction. It sounds like this second playlist has a lot of depth. What direction is it going in then? Does it explore themes of resilience or struggle, or is it more of a journey of hope and overcoming challenges?
I think it's a journey of being confident in your imagination, and it does get really hard. So just hold on, have hope that um, yeah, your dreams will come true. You're not crazy. But yeah, keep on imagining and keep on creating.
That it's such a powerful message, really inspiring. The idea of holding on to your dreams and trusting that your imagination can take you places even when it feels tough is something that will resonate with so many people. Do you plan to build on this theme visually too, maybe with some imagery or videos that tie into that journey of hope and confidence and imagination?
Yeah, that'll be the next phase as soon as I'm done with the playlist. Hence, I was saying I'm struggling to bring it down to 17. I keep on adding and subtracting tracks. There's a few that I'm feeling they belong here, but
Sounds like you're in a really exciting phase of curating. It's tough to narrow down the tracks, especially when you feel connected to each one. But once you've got your final set, it'll feel right. When you're ready to bring the visuals together, maybe you could even reflect the journey of the playlist through different stages of the video, showing that same process of addition and subtraction you're going through now.
absolutely we'll do that. Um, yeah, yeah.
For a really cool concept, especially if you capture the progression of the playlist as a story, like showing the chaos and final clarity of curating. It could tie in nicely with the idea of imagination and the creative process. What visuals are you thinking of to go with it? Incorporate more fashion elements in the visuals.
Yeah, I was thinking of including pieces I've already created and possibly even more pieces that I am creating both in 3D and the ones in
It's
real
like a great
life.
way to tie everything together. You could even create short segments where you showcase how each piece relates to a particular track or how your designs and music feed off each other creatively. Maybe even break down your process, like how a song inspired a design or how a piece of clothing reflects a mood or theme in the playlist. Feel about combining those personal design pieces with the mood of the playlist.
Yeah, that could work. That could work. But I guess in a more simple way.
It could really add a personal touch and make your playlist feel even more immersive, especially if your audience gets to see the behind the scenes of your creative process. It could also elevate the playlist into more of an experience, blending the visual and auditory aspects. Do you have any specific design pieces in mind that you'd like to highlight, or are you still brainstorming?
Yeah, I'm still brainstorming. Also, for the third time, I know I'm still trying to back up this data. Just see if I can show it on this video here. It's the software that I got, and it's just helping me what's this, find or confirm that the data is not lost, but it's not helping me recover because it costs
Totally get that.
$65.
Backing up all that data is so important, especially with everything you've been creating. It sounds like it could be a huge relief once it's all securely stored. Let me know when you're ready to share more or need help figuring out the next steps with your ideas or anything else.
Coolio. Yeah, I'll head back to you once I can win here with this hard drive, and
Here when you're
then
ready.
we'll chat back again. Thank you for this chat and actually getting this done.
You're
This is
welcome.
dope.
I'm glad we could dive into everything. I look forward to seeing where your ideas go.